Hi guys, I hope you're having a great day. So I came on to, I'm going to try to make this quick because I'm waiting for my daughter to come out of school. But okay, so I went back through my notebook. Well, I was writing down some dreams I've had and some visions. I've had quite a few. And here I saw this Iranian Buzzy. And I was like, when did I write that? So I clicked on it. And it's Tuesday at January 8th, 2019 at 5:38 a.m. I supposedly wrote Iranian Buzzy. It was a word that I heard very early in the morning. I must have woke up to write it down and went back to sleep because I do not remember writing this, you guys. And I know this is from the Lord because look at what Iran is doing right now and what is going on with Israel, and Russia and Iran are just hand in hand. And it is this, it's the dream I had over a year and a half ago of Russia, Iran, and Turkey uniting, and they're going to bomb Israel. Every day we see more and more leading up to this, you guys. And the vision I had about this Brexit, I saw a fireplace with a fire burning, and on top of the mantle it said the words Brexit. And that was like 2 days before another wave of Brexit came into the news. So these are all things that we're looking at right now. We're following. Who was it that just Iran or Russia just made ties with Ethiopia? And there's just so many governments and countries building who they're going to be with during this World War III, you guys. Every day we get closer and closer and closer. Okay, let me see. Oh. Restart app. What does that mean? Anyway, so I wanted to share here's a dream I had I want to share with you guys. So I had this dream. It wasn't on the 22nd. It was before that. Maybe it was the 22nd. I had this dream. I walked outside of a building at night. I looked into the night sky and the moon was huge. I said, look, it's the Convergence. I knew that two moons or planets had came together and it was so bright. It was beaming like the sun. And I had to look away. And I woke up, you guys. It was so bright in the night sky. And if you guys remember the dream that I had probably a month ago or so, I don't know what it was. It's a few videos back where I actually drew the picture out. I think it was like 5 or 6 different scenarios that I was shown in the sky about different orbits of these planets and the moon. And in the first one I saw, it was either 2 moons or 2 planets came together to create one big one. Like a super moon. Okay, well, we know that this super moon just passed. So I don't know what's going on, you guys. You know, after this eclipse or blood moon or whatever, I had this dream now. So I don't know. Lord Jesus, please lead us to what you're trying to say, right? So, you know, don't stop looking up at what the moons and the planets or the stars are doing, because I was shown after this supermoon that there are going to be an alignment of 5, like 5 planets or 5 moons. They look like moons. And then they're going to separate and there was like a moon with like 5 other, or a planet with 5 other moons around it. And those are going to separate and go up, and there's some that are going to separate and go down, and there's some that are going to separate and go up to the right of the sky. I mean, I was shown this in different orbits in the sky. So we're still watching the skies, okay, guys? I don't understand it, but God knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. Okay, and I'll probably share a couple of these later, but last night before I went to sleep, I was praying. I had a very quick vision of, I was like up on a hillside at this really nice house, and it had a concrete pool. Okay, quick vision after praying of standing in front of a swimming pool built into a concrete deck, overlooking a valley with a sunset. So I could see the sky, and the sun was setting, and there was just like green landscaping, shrubbery around, and it looked out over this valley. It was just a very beautiful and serene place that you would want to be. So there was that. And then last night, this morning I woke up. I had this dream. So this is the weirdest dream, you guys, okay? So I was standing with some people, and we were looking at this huge 3D wooden wheel. And I wish I could have found a picture of what it looks like, you guys, but I don't think I'd ever be able to find a picture of it. It was so extravagant and delicate, but huge and crazy looking, okay? The only way, the only way I can explain what I was doing with this wheel, because I was standing in front of this wheel, and I was using, like, my mind or something, okay? I was using myself to trace pathways on this wheel, because it was like a 3D. It was like a donut. It was like thick, and it was 3D, and it had different wooden paths, intricate, on this wheel. Suddenly, I unlocked a section of this wheel, and a part of it, I didn't write this in here, but a part of it turned a different color. So I knew I had unlocked this section. It was weird. And I had access, it became available to me. I had access to it to travel the 3D parts in this particular section of this massive wheel. Then a man's voice said, "Look, she figured it out and unlocked it. She has enough to travel on for at least the next 10 years. Another man walked over and was in approval of what I had done. Suddenly, I was with a man named Randy Jordan. He was floating in the water in a big Hummer Jeep. I started out standing chest high in water with my friends. We were like standing in this river or some kind of water or something. And it was about chest high. I looked on the bank and saw a military vehicle drive up, opened the back of its cargo door, and then we were under heavy fire. These things came storming the beach and water. They were robot Terminators with red eyes. Okay, they looked just like, tons of them started piling out the back of this. And no, I haven't watched the Terminator, not in the past 15 years. So this isn't anything I've watched or saw on YouTube or anything like that. But they look just like the Terminator endoskeletons or whatever they were. They had laser-type guns, and they were shooting people. Me and my friend saw Randy in the Hummer. We were actually standing right next to him in the water while he was in the Hummer, and climbed up into the Jeep that was floating in the water. We climbed inside. He put it into gear, and away we went. Then it was like we got out of the water on the other side of the bank, and we were on dry land, and we were just headed off, you guys. And then he told us to get down, and I noticed there were supplies in the back of the Jeep. They were different canister military boxes or something like that. And so I got in, sat down, and laid down. And then my friend was trying to make room, right? So there were supplies in the back of the Jeep. He told us to get down, move the supplies to the back. I thought it was odd because he had eggs in the Jeep. I was laying down, and my friend was moving the eggs around so she could lay down too. Then a wiener dog hopped up. What are we doing here? A wiener dog, a dachshund, hopped up in the back and was laying across me. Like he came from the back of me. He must have hopped into the Jeep, you guys, as it was driving down the road. But he hopped in there And then he laid across my side, and I yelled, "Who's this? And where's the other dogs?" I flashed in my mind in this dream back to the river. And I remember seeing other dogs, and they looked German Shepherd. And it's like they were hunting people or something. I don't know. It was like they used to be his, but then they wanted to be his, but they decided not to. It was weird. So he said, the man said, "That's Buck." And the other dogs were left behind to die. And I was like, "Buck." And Buck was happy, wagging his tail as his ears blew in the wind and his tongue hung out of his mouth like some sort of mighty dog. The end. So I knew this was a dream from the Lord because he uses the same people over and over in my dreams, and they each mean certain things. But this was a new one. A wiener dog named Buck, you guys, jumped in the back of the Jeep with us, and he was all happy. So that was my dream, and I really believe that this dream is pointing to the start of the tribulation, or the start of war. And these Terminators with these laser guns started firing on people. Me and my friend being in the water with Randy, I believe Randy represents Jesus. And we are in the water, which represents the Holy Spirit. And I believe that getting into that Jeep represented the rapture. And Buck is, I looked up Buck. You guys can look it up. But it just means exuberant, or a horse that puts his, bucks, or there is a lot of definitions for the word buck. But it kind of made me think about when the Lord spoke to me in a dream one time. He told me the fearless bride. That's what he said to me. He said the fearless bride. And I believe that maybe Buck might have been a representation of that. Because we have to be fearless, you guys. And that was answered prayer when I heard that. Because, I take my supplications to the Lord. And sometimes we're in fear about people judging us, or, people saying things against us, or saying against our doctrine, our once saved, always saved, our, they try to come against grace, salvation, and the finished work of the cross. And if you have a channel, or you're trying to talk to your family, or wherever, just in town, it's just a continuous attack. Every day, it's a continuous attack. Some people might not know that they're attacking you, and some people, it's on purpose. But we just keep going. We're like the fearless bride, you guys. And that's what the Lord wants. He wants you to be strong. He wants you to stand up for the true gospel. He wants you to stand up for what's right. He wants you to represent Him with grace, the grace that He's given you. He wants you to give it to other people. And for us to realize that when we're attacked, we're not actually being attacked. They are actually attacking Jesus, and they don't know it. They have no idea. And I used to be one of those people. But so I just thought I'd share some of these things with you, and just encourage you that, whatever's happening in your life right now, whatever you're going through, God's got this, you guys. And we're going to keep on going, keep on sharing the gospel, and just walking in God's grace and His love and mercy. Oh, I see my daughter, you guys. Okay, I love you, and God bless you guys.